Hey crypto fans, my name is Garrett and welcome to Altcoin Radar. Today guys, I'm going to give you my opinion on how to invest in crypto with just $100, you guys. So if you're brand new to the channel and you think you might enjoy the content that I create, then go ahead and make sure to subscribe to the channel guys, and go ahead and give this video a thumbs up because it helps me out and why not, right? And also guys, go ahead and feel free to follow me on Twitter here as well. You can find the link to it in the description below the video. I like to talk about altcoins, NFTs, day trading strategies, all kinds of good crypto stuff on a daily basis. So you might as well go ahead and give me a follow because I'm only going to be growing in the long term, you guys, and that's a fact. All right, guys. So basically, I'm going to simply assume here that most of you only, if you're watching this video, then you probably only have $100 that you want to throw into the crypto market. But here's the thing, you guys, you have no idea what to buy or what to look for or how many coins or tokens you should invest in. And that's okay because a lot of people have that dilemma. But guys, this is actually going to be more of a common dilemma than you actually might think. And honestly, it's also one of, the most common questions that I personally get asked in my Twitter DMs as well. So today, guys, I'm going to tell you about a few key factors that you should definitely pay attention to so that you can hopefully get the most bang for your buck in the long term, you guys, especially if you're only starting out with $100. However, guys, before I start this video and before I actually get into the nitty-gritty of this video, I have to mention that I will not be telling you what coins to buy or anything like that, okay? Instead, I'll be giving you some tips and, I'll be giving you some tips and stuff like that to be able to find good coins or tokens that you're comfortable with buying on your own, okay, guys? And the reason why I do this is because I'm not a financial advisor. I cannot legally tell you which coins you should be buying and stuff like that. That wouldn't be right for me to do. I cannot be financially responsible for your gains or losses. So I can't tell you exactly which coins to buy. So I'm just going to be giving you some tips and tricks on how, what you can look for and what to look into and stuff like that. Because it's more than it goes deeper than just a basic level here. So guys, just to start off with, I want to start by answering the obvious question, which is why not just invest in all the cryptocurrencies that you're interested in? Well, guys, here's the thing. There's actually a few reasons for this. And for starters, you guys, you might not have enough cash on your on hand to make diversifying your investment actually worthwhile, to be honest with you. I mean, $100 diversifying it into a bunch of different cryptocurrencies, that's really not that much money to be able to do that comfortably. For example, guys, let's say you've got like $100, right? And you invest it evenly within 10 different cryptocurrencies. And so you put like $10 into each crypto. Now imagine that, after a month, one of those cryptos goes up by 10x and another one goes up by 3x, okay, guys? And then the other five cryptocurrencies that you're invested in, they didn't do anything, okay? And they remain, and the other three after that, they dropped in value by 50%, okay, guys? So realistically here, out of the 10 that you bought into, you're only profiting off of 2 of them, okay? That's really not that good. Overall here, you guys, your total profit in this hypothetical situation would, pretty much be smaller than if you were to, invest your initial $100 just between the 2 that had good returns. So if you can kind of see what I'm trying to get at here when I'm talking about that. Clearly, obviously, it's better to invest in less with little money than more, obviously. Now, obviously, you guys, knowing exactly which cryptocurrencies will pull a 3x or a 10x is much easier said than done, honestly. But guys, this can definitely be estimated with some accuracy using the factors that I'll be talking about later in this video, you guys. But another reason why it might be better to invest in just a few of these cryptos, that you're interested in has to do with fees, especially exchange fees and transaction fees, which is something that it's something that I bet most people don't even think about, to be honest with you. Most people don't even think about, the amount that they're going to have to pay in exchange fees for buying these tokens and stuff like that. Now, guys, in terms of trading, most cryptocurrency exchanges have a minimum trade amount, such as Binance, for example, okay? Binance has a minimum of $10 to trade. They have a $10 minimum trade amount, so you cannot trade less than $10. In addition, you guys, the minimum withdrawal amounts and fees for some cryptos can be very high on some exchanges as well. So guys, transaction fees are usually less of an issue if you're planning on buying they're usually less of an issue unless you're planning on buying, like Bitcoin or Ethereum or any ERC20 token pretty much. For instance, you guys, Bitcoin transfers can cost as much as like 50 bucks, okay? And the Ethereum gas fees you'll have to pay to transfer a token like Aave, for instance, can easily exceed $100 when the network is congested. And the last reason the last reason you might want to consider choosing a smaller amount of cryptos to invest in is simply for practical purposes as well, you guys. Keeping up with updates, news, and, price action and stuff like that for more than a dozen different cryptocurrencies or a bunch of different cryptocurrencies, I mean, it can honestly be kind of hard here, to be brutally honest with you. And if you were to miss, anything within one of these, 12 different cryptocurrencies, it could mean the difference between a 2x and a 10x return, to be honest with you. So the less that you have to keep track of, the better, to be honest with you. So guys, let me also reiterate here that you may be wanting to buy specific coins that someone may have told you about, right? Maybe somebody in your family or a family member or something like that, or somebody randomly told you that you should buy a specific type of coins or something. And if this is the case, you guys, you should immediately scratch those coins off your list, because while, coins like the dog meme coins or the tokens of the day, could rise to new heights in the future, it's really nothing more than just a gamble and not a strategic investment decision at that point. But with that said, you guys, lots of social engagement and interaction is crucial for the price action of a cryptocurrency coin or token, you guys. And guys, this is the second thing, it's pretty much the second factor into your decision here. Okay, guys, definitely it has to have decent and solid social engagement. Now, guys, there could be a cryptocurrency on your list that is objectively the very best in every possible measure, obviously. But if it has no online reach or community base, then it may as well not even exist at all, to be honest with you guys. So the key thing here is to make sure that the coin or token you're looking into, you guys, has a good and active and solid community. And the easiest way to check if the currencies on your list have a sufficient engagement is to simply check their Twitter followings and watch list count on CoinMarketCap. What I mean by this, you guys, is, on CoinMarketCap, you can see, we'll just click on Bitcoin, for instance. On CoinMarketCap, you can see how many people are on the watch list for Bitcoin, clearly right here. And it's just like that. You want to make sure that that watch list number has a decent amount of people, you guys, okay? For reference, you guys, just to put it into perspective here, for reference, most cryptocurrencies within the top 100, so when you come to CoinMarketCap here, pretty much all of these coins that are within the top 100, you can see the numbers on the left-hand side. Pretty much every single one of these will already have good Twitter followings and, impressive watch list counts on CoinMarketCap. So these are all pretty much, if it's a coin within the top 100, you're pretty much already good to go by default, pretty much. But for, honestly though, you guys, once you've established that the cryptos you're looking for do have a good amount of social engagement, the next step that's going to be for you, your next step is going to be checking the supply and demand of that specific coin or token, okay, guys? So pretty much here, there are pretty much two supply sources in cryptocurrency, you guys, and they are inflation and vesting, i.e. The unlock periods, pretty much the unlock periods for any coins or tokens allocated to private investors or, the team behind the crypto project, you guys. Now, if we are being technically accurate here, almost every crypto on the market does have some amount of real inflation. Even if it has maximum supplies, since new coins or tokens are being created literally on a daily basis. In addition, you guys, most cryptos have levels of inflation that range anywhere from 5 to 10%. And others, such as tokens you earn from like yield farming and DeFi, can have annual inflation rates in the, hundreds of percent pretty much. Now, honestly though, you guys, inflation isn't really a problem if you're only planning on holding a crypto for just a few weeks or months here. And also, in addition, you guys, you can sometimes offset that inflation while you wait to sell simply by staking that coin or token, you guys. So, that's an option as well. However, keep in mind here that, inflation can have some pretty serious implications when you couple it with a vesting schedule here, okay? And, this is something that is often overlooked by even the most experienced crypto traders, to be honest with you. You have to be smart about this kind of stuff. You see, guys, most cryptos that we see today were actually pre-mined, okay? Meaning the founders, pretty much create some or all of the supply of that specific cryptocurrency in advance. Now, you guys, usually only a very small percentage of that initial supply is sold to retail investors like you and me, for instance. And the rest, goes to venture capitalists, private investors, and the team behind the project. In addition, you guys, this is why most cryptocurrencies have a very low circulating supply or a low circulating supply. And you can usually check how that crypto was initially allocated using, a website like, ICO drops and stuff like that. You can clearly see all kinds of different things. You just search for the crypto right up here. And it's as simple as that, you guys. Overall here, though, you guys, the coins or tokens allocated to private parties usually have a lengthy unlock period, simply to prevent everyone from selling too soon after the coin or token starts trading. Because otherwise, you guys, it would crash. It would pretty much crash the price, and nobody wants that to be happening, obviously. So, guys, while vesting schedules come in all shapes and sizes, the main thing to look out for here is any large vesting cliffs, realistically. Simply because, this sudden release of tokens, you guys, in such a short period of time often suppresses the price action, to be honest with you. So, guys, now we're actually going to switch gears here, and we're going to stop talking about supply, and we're going to start talking about demand in the market, okay? So there's basically two drivers here for demand, okay? We've got the one is use case demand, and the other is institutional demand, okay? Now, guys, in terms of use case here, Bitcoin's primary use case is simply it's simply a store of value, whereas Ethereum's primary use case is to pay for gas fees on the Ethereum network. Although, also, guys, the robustness of Bitcoin network, and the size of Ethereum's ecosystem is pretty much why, there is a constant demand for both of these cryptocurrencies, to be honest with you. And even if cryptocurrencies, even if the cryptocurrencies that you're considering have high inflation and aggressive vesting schedules, it's very possible that the demand for some of them could be high enough to overcome that supply shock, to be honest with you. But just to give you a little pointer here, you guys, here's a quick tip for you, okay? Be aware of crypto projects. Be aware that many crypto projects will, they will ultimately shill their institutional connections and partnerships, even though they have no practical effect on their coin or token whatsoever. So just keep in mind on that and think about, keep that in the back of your mind when you're thinking about, which cryptocurrencies you should be buying and stuff like that. They tend to try to make themselves look better than they actually are. And also, guys, you'll want to do some extra research for these claims when you're examining your cryptocurrencies on your list as well. Ask yourself, simply ask yourself different questions. Ask yourself if there are, any use cases for the project beyond speculative retail investing that could push the price up or could help push the price up. And guys, of these coins, the demand coming from, the use case should definitely be real, okay? And something long-term as well. Obviously, it has to be long-term. And guys, not due to a short-term incentive of some kind, okay? You don't want to, you want to make sure that these coins aren't, they don't have some kind of short-term incentive, because that's going to tell you right there, that's kind of like a red flag right there. All right, guys. So now, once you've identified these use cases, you have to honestly ask yourself whether there are other crypto projects that are competing in that same niche or not, that may be doing a better job, to be honest with you. And in my experience, you guys, some of the best cryptocurrencies are honestly those that have a practical use case in a very small niche without much competition, you guys. As a perfect example, I'm going to use Travala's AVA token here. Here, let me just go to it real quick. Travala's AVA token. I mean, it is a very, very, very small niche. It's a very small niche, and it has a very solid community, a very solid product, and a very, very practical use in the real world. And it's being used on a regular daily basis. And I bet most of the cryptocurrency world doesn't even know about it, because most people don't care about, solid use case projects, but they aren't realizing that these solid use case projects are the types of projects that are going to be adopted when cryptocurrency gets adopted, for the long term. And these are the types of projects that will take off in the long term because they are going to get used on a regular basis. Another one that's kind of like this, you guys, is, like Render's RNDR token. So we'll check that out real quick. We got Render's RNDR token, okay? This is another one, a very solid use case, you guys. Very solid use case, and it actually has it has use in the real world, and it's a very small project that most people probably don't even know about. So there's a lot of these types of projects out there, you guys. You just have to find them. They're definitely out there, and it takes time to do research into these. And yeah, I mean, when you're investing, investing takes research, you guys. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But anyway, you guys, The problem with most cryptocurrencies that have strong use cases like this or an institutional investment is that they have, a lot of them have already seen most of their growth, which brings me to my last and final factor to keep in mind here. So guys, assuming that, the cryptos that you have left on your list have, high social engagement with minimal hype and demand drivers that outweigh its supply sources, the last thing to check for is growth potential, okay? Now guys, there are literally dozens upon dozens of cryptocurrencies, that could 10x or more. I mean, there just are. And a few of them might be on your list right now. So guys, what you want to do is start organizing the remaining cryptos on your list by market cap from largest to smallest, okay? Now, I know you might think this is probably a lot of work, but whatever, like I was just saying, investing takes work. Like, you've got to do your homework. I mean, it's not a walk in the park. I mean, there's no legitimate investor in the world that just goes and wakes up and they're like, oh, I'm going to invest in this because it's a good idea. No, it takes research. You have to research into this stuff. And as a general rule of thumb here, you guys, the smaller the market cap on these coins, the more potential that it will eventually have to grow. However, guys, the trade-off here is risk, okay? Now, simply because the smaller cap coins will most likely be extremely volatile, and there's honestly no guarantee that they'll rise either, to be honest with you. However, guys, the next thing you want to do is you want to open up, CoinMarketCap, which is the website we're on right now, or another website called CoinGecko. And you want to open up that coins page for that corner token and, simply check to see which exchanges they're currently trading on. So if we go back to that Travala coin, here, I'll just show you as an example. We'll go back to that Travala coin. We go to its page right here, and we scroll to the bottom, and we can see which exchanges that you can buy it on and which exchanges it's currently available on. So you can get on Binance, Gate.io, and KuCoin, okay? So this is what you want to do. You want to see which exchanges they're currently trading on. Now, guys, if the coin is trading on a good exchanges, but it's not trading on, big exchanges like Binance or Coinbase, then there's definitely a possibility one of them could be listed there in the future. And guys, if they continue, especially if they continue to see, community growth and development in the future. Now, guys, you might be wondering why the hell all of this matters. Well, it matters simply because if you do, if any of your cryptos are about to be listed on a top tier exchange, it usually means more investment, and the announcement alone will help, the price go higher as well. I mean, that's usually how it goes, and that's usually how it happens. So now, guys, the final growth factor that that you can check for basic price analysis. Okay, overall here, you guys, there's many different cryptocurrencies that will be wanting to retest their all-time high, in the next bull market coming in the future. And although it's not guaranteed that they will push to new highs, if you can see that the momentum is definitely there, then it's definitely possible that this could easily happen, you guys, and that, all these, these coins will reach their next all-time high again. However, guys, if the crypto you're interested in buying is newer and, doesn't have a previous all-time high, then that's actually a pretty good sign, to be honest with you. So by this point, you should have your list narrowed down to just a few cryptocurrencies that are worthy of your cash. All that's left is figuring out, the perfect time to sell, really. But overall, you guys, for those of you who are still watching this video and have, made it with me through the end here, deciding which cryptos to invest in can really be a daunting task, to be honest with you. I mean, especially when you've got limited cash on hand, like $100. But after all, you guys, there are literally hundreds and hundreds of promising cryptos on the market, and new ones are showing up every single day, you guys. And in a perfect world, you'd simply want to invest in all of them. And some of us are lucky enough to, have had the ability to do that. But even so, you guys, I truly think that, being invested in 20 different cryptocurrencies is seriously pushing it. Unless you're obviously doing this full time and you can comfortably afford it, you guys. But overall, you guys, that pretty much does it for this video. So I will go ahead and wrap this one up. But again, guys, before you guys leave, go ahead and make sure to subscribe to my channel so that you never miss a new crypto and altcoin video from me on a regular basis. And hey, guys, with that said, thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you guys in my future videos or chatting with me here on Twitter.